Greetings, everyone. It is so nice to reconnect with all of you. I've been away for a couple weeks, and we apologize for getting on a little late today, but we had technical difficulties. I have a brand new computer, and we had to kind of figure out how to get it all set up very quickly. So thank you, Amnon, for helping me with that. Um, Basically, I've been away for a couple weeks, and uh, there was a really important reason for it, and I've been dealing with a lot of situations in my immediate family with someone that was struggling with depression and really moving through some really deep emotional pain that needed to be cleared. And the priority was there, and so I really felt intuitively led to just kind of pull away for a little while and focus on helping. And I don't want to give too much information because, to honor this person's privacy, but during the last couple of weeks I've been taught so many important lessons on staying in our alignment and on how we can really help assist a soul that's really suffering or hurting, especially those that are struggling with what our society likes to label as depression. And it was really interesting because what was going on in my family, I felt all these pressures externally from counselors and doctors, trying to encourage me to go towards giving this person medicines and drugs, maybe putting them in a facility. And I just, in my heart, every time I'd go into meditation and feel it, it didn't feel right. And so I was meditating one day and I just got the strong intuition that I needed to get away to nature with my family. And so we took off and we went into nature and camped for about a week. And while I was camping, one of the last nights that we were there, I woke up from a dream, and in the dream I was shown a vision of this camp, and it was in nature, and there was all these children there. Mostly it was children, like teenagers, and they were healing, and we were helping teach them shamanic practices and teach them how to honor their self and how to honor the earth and to connect. And I woke up with that memory of that dream, and the moment I thought of that dream, a crow flew over my tent and started cawing, which for me just brought even deeper confirmation that the spiritual realms were speaking and to really listen. And so part of what I feel I'm here to share and why things happen to me, often Spirit will bring things to my own world in a way that I can relate and connect and understand what's going on in the bigger picture. And then how do I process and understand that so that we can bring back messages to all of you that are tuning in that may be going through very similar things. And so I got home from that trip and observing this family member and how much they were healing and shifting just from that nature time. Observing, I was nudging and encouraging them to go and get in the ocean and connect with the ocean water and to just go and be with the trees and to just connect with the inner child's need to play and just to be and not worry so much about everything and to disconnect from technology. And it was really profoundly powerful in the emotional shift that I observed. And so when I got home, I was meditating like a couple days ago, and I just had Archangel Ariel bring me all of these messages that I channeled in, and I wrote a blog that I just recently posted. So if some of you haven't had a chance to read that, feel free to read it. It's under TawnyaAngel555.com. It's the website that I have listed there. And that's what I feel led intuitively to speak on today, is what we have called in our society depression is in fact what the angels are channeling in as a soul sickness. And it's really important that we address what's going on because it's getting more intense. There's more and more suffering from what they, doctors want to label chronic depression, and a lot more suicide rates the suicide rates have been going up, and a lot more, even just like recently, there was a woman in Cannon Beach that, they weren't sure what happened, but this woman's children were found in a hotel, and the baby was found murdered, and the 13-year-old was found, stabbed and in serious injury, serious critical condition. And I was meditating on this woman because a friend of mine that comes to my soul circle, she actually is neighbors with the woman. And she asked me if I could tune in and what did I sense. Well, when I meditated about her, I saw a vision of her attacking her children, and then she was fleeing and hiding, and I just kind of processed it all and let it just come through, even though I don't know this woman at all. Well, then today I just found out that they found the woman and she got arrested, and they do feel she's being charged with murder. And the reason I'm bringing this up is not to be doom and gloomer or gruesome or to upset anyone, but it's to really bring our awareness to the places that we need to really pay attention right now. Like, there's more and more that are being challenged with this darkness, this lower vibrational energy, and that heaviness is getting unbearable for many. And so for some of you, if you're struggling with depression or you're struggling with the feelings of what's the use, what's the point, why even bother? That's a sign that you really need to go and clear a lot of energy from yourself. And I'm just going to kind of go over and recap what I wrote in the blog. But basically what Archangel Ariel is channeling in is that the main issue with what we label as depression is that we're not being true to ourselves. And so at some level, a soul that chooses to continue to go in a direction where they submit or release their power to another, it will have its consequence over time. So for many, it could be you're in a marriage and you just feel like you have to bite your tongue and you can't really let your voice be heard. And so you do that long enough, there's a consequence, a physical consequence that will start to make yourself feel a heaviness, like it's hard to get up every day. It's hard to feel like you have any power or any purpose. If you're a child and you've been abused and you're going through a lot of pain and you're just feeling self-hatred because there's misaligned beings in your life that have told you hateful things and they abuse you, they lash out at you all the time, and their whole intention, which is hard for a soul to comprehend, but when a lower vibrational energy is trying to punish and lash out at another soul, the intention is to destroy that soul. The intention is to bring their vibration down. And so it's really important that we start to discern this, and we really go back to what we've said so many times in the show of really paying attention to the alignment, and that if another soul's alignment or energy seems off, pay attention to it. It's important that we stop attaching ourselves to each other in codependent ways that causes our own suffering. It's important that we speak truth to those who are suffering around us to shift them into a higher vibration, but making sure that we're keeping our own vibration intact, which that, I have to say, was very challenging for me. Being in that heaviness, it was really intense, and I had to break away during the day. I had to shut my door and push family members away for a while. Like, I need my space. Like, I need quiet. I need peace. And it's in this place where we have to really love self, and we have to really honor these boundaries. Sometimes meaning you get away from these people until they can shift, or you remove yourself from the energy. And so a few of the pointers they brought through was definitely being true to self. And this is so important for us at a soul level. And if any of you are struggling with depression, at some level you have given up your power. At some level you have betrayed self. And if you don't make excuses for that, but you really tune in and you discern and listen to, okay, what's going on in me? Check in with your heart space. What is it that I have released in myself? What is it that I have given up that is starting to cause me anger or sadness? And it's important to really pay attention to that and learn from it. Some of the suggestions they recommend are so simple that many of you may question if they're actually true or powerful, because we have this need in our society to make everything so complex and to create complication and confusion. And this is the ego's very tactic to steer you away from the simple and most efficient path of healing. And so it's important that we be open to how simple things really are. I was at a yoga training this weekend, and through the whole training there was so much, discussion about the right yoga, the wrong yoga. Is this the right way to do it? Is that the wrong way? And I was just observing it all. And what Spirit brought to me, it was like this playful moment where I just laughed. And I was just like, the nugget I took from the whole thing was life is simple. And we, as humans, our egos want to complicate everything. And that if we just stay simple, we come back to alignment. We come back to that simple understanding of law of attraction. This is the wisdom. And for many, they want to make it so complex. So I've recommended this book so many times, but I highly recommend the Getting Into the Vortex book on just starting to understand vibrational alignment, what that is. Being true to self is all about a vibrational alignment. So if I wake up every day and I don't feel worthy and I don't feel I'm enough and I don't feel like I'm good and I feel like I have to prove myself, immediately upon awakening, when I get out of bed, I have entered a vibration of feeling I'm not worth much, I'm not worthy. Everything that I attract to myself that day is going to continue to prove to me or, bring confirmation of my own belief system of not being worthy. So one of the most important aspects of depression is to shift that tendency to think these lower vibrational thoughts. So one of the first guidance steps that Archangel Ariel is channeling in is that we need to be so mindful of our thoughts. Our thinking is more powerful than many of us understand. So really tuning into your thoughts on what you feel about yourself, what you're thinking right now about yourself. Some of us are so programmed to react, and it's like a knee-jerk reaction. We don't even realize that we are thinking, that we're choosing thoughts. So it's really important that we start to tune inward and feel and be aware of the thinking that we're holding about ourselves. Our thoughts are so powerful that they vibrationally affect our body, they vibrationally affect our other relationships, they vibrationally put out a frequency that draws in abundance and joy and goodness, or draws in hatred and pain and suffering. And so it's really important that we tune in and understand the power of our thinking, and that we understand that the only person on the planet with the power to shift your thinking is you. You are the one that holds the key to your own freedom and liberation. No one else can do this for you. As a healer, I assist and I listen and I bring and channel messages to souls that are ready to hear and listen. But even then, I am not the one that chooses their journey. I'm not the one that helps them choose alignment. I guide them. I shine the light in the direction, and they have to choose it. And then after seeing me, when I work with a client, they could have the most amazing experience and then go home and go right back to that habitual thinking of negativity and I'm not worthy, and they're going to continue to suffer again. So it's really important that we understand that we hold the power within. So our thinking is very important, being aware that you are worthy. If you can right now go write this in your journal, I am worthy. And that may sound simple and silly, but this is the chronic issue on the planet that's leading so many to do crazy behaviors. Most of the most sick, hateful, hurtful, sad, suffering energies are created from the very essence of I am not worthy. I am not enough. So if you could go and put those words in your journal, I highly recommend that affirmation, and using that affirmation daily for the next few weeks. Just every day when you wake up, affirm, I am worthy. I am good enough. I am good. I am deserving of goodness. And really start to affirm it. Write it in your journal. Think it throughout the day. Speak it out loud. If someone comes in and challenges you and they tell you hateful things, then they're abusing and projecting abuse on you, look at them and call them on what they're doing, and then speak out loud, I am worthy of love. I am deserving of love. And so are you. And this is going to really help to bring the light on what's the deeper issue here at the soul level. Journaling is something the angels highly recommend, and they've said this so many times, but journaling is really an amazing tool to help bring self-awareness. So it's not a girl thing or a silly thing. So men, women, children, it would serve all of you to start journaling, just to write down the dialogue from spirit. When you're out on your nature walk and you have a feeling of something that came in as guidance, it would be really powerful for you to write that down. when you're out and about and you just have an affirmation come through you, write that down. It's a little nugget of wisdom coming to help and assist you. As a healer, I write in my journal all the time. I'm always logging things on my blog and on Facebook instantly, and I post a lot of things. And that is because when Spirit speaks, I listen, and listening's great, but I also, there's a participation aspect of Spirit speaking, I listen, and then I share. So for many of you, if you're listening but you're not really speaking about it or you're not acknowledging it, it's kind of like being in a relationship with someone who's talking to you and they tell you how much they love you all the time, but you don't acknowledge their speaking. You don't speak to them. You start just ignoring them, and eventually you kind of feel like they're not around. They don't want to listen to you anymore. They don't want to talk to you anymore. And we really need to see that that's how a lot of us have a relationship with ourself and with our higher source. And we need to start really tuning in and listening. And again, this is in alignment with being true to self. The thing that just came to me, because I'm looking at my little list of pointers to remember to address everything they brought in, but what they just brought in right now was that it is really impossible for a soul to be depressed when one is focused upon gratitude and joy. So when you're sad and you're having a sad day, part of the issue is that we have a sad moment, a sad energy comes to us. And I look at energy and emotion very much like clouds in the sky. So when I'm feeling sadness, if I identify with that sadness and I want to make it really solid and I want to cling to it, what I will do is I will say, I am sad. The I am statement is very powerful. So when you say I am something, you now have attached yourself to it. You're now calling it in. You're calling it forth. So when we say I am depressed or I am sad, we're really attaching ourselves to the cloud of sadness. So we, instead of that cloud of energy moving by, that energy and vibration moving through and allowing it to move through our experience, which is going to happen, there's moments of sadness where energy of sadness may come and move through us. It would be more powerful for you to allow that energy to move through, to acknowledge the feelings, to feel them, to learn from them, and then let them pass, than it would be to identify and label and attach yourself to these emotions. I am depressed. Now I have to tell everyone I'm depressed. I have to justify my depression. I have to continue to, make excuses for the depression. And so if you kind of see where I'm going, we start to create something that's very solid from just an ethery energy, like a cloud. So instead of attaching yourself to these emotions, look at them like clouds in the sky and they're passing by. Allow them to pass through you and be present with them. We don't want to resist the energy because that's just going to hold it at bay and it's going to keep coming through. We want to allow it. Instead of attaching yourself to these emotions. Whoa, I just heard myself talking. That was really crazy. It's okay. I was like, ooh, I heard myself in my little microphone. So anyways, on that note with the emotions, I'm going to pause for a moment. And Amnon, is there anybody that's got any feedback or any questions that you're seeing?
No, not yet.
Okay. So if any of you have any questions, you have any feedback, maybe you're going through something right now, please feel free to call in or write us and share your feedback. And I would love to connect with you today on that. And if not, just listen and process in your own time. It's all good. So basically we got through the journaling, being true to self, being mindful of our thoughts. And the next thing that they brought through is a daily connection with nature. And I'm really serious about a daily connection with nature. Whether it means you go outside and you just sit in your backyard and you take your shoes off, you put your feet on the grass and you just listen to the birds, or it means that you go out and you go hiking like I did this morning. I went on a nice hike and I was processing and having an amazing soul conversation with a friend. You can have this time with spirit in nature in any way that feels right to you, but it's important that we have daily connection with nature. A lot of us that feel depressed or sad, it's actually connected to our disconnection with nature. When we are inside too much and we're isolating ourselves from the external world, from nature, it can start to feel really empty and really anxiety and different energies of anxiety and emotions like that can start to rise up. So a daily connection with nature is very wise. And I encourage you to find ways that you can do that you really enjoy. Times where you can be out there playing in nature, as well as times where you can be outside and you're just listening and connecting with nature and really paying attention to what nature's bringing you in messages. The next thing is to exercise daily. And this isn't coming from, I've been a fitness trainer for the last 16 years, and I've heard all kinds of excuses from people of why they don't have time to exercise or why they can't exercise. They too much this, they're too busy. But then I watch them and I see their lives get worse and worse, and I see their pain and their suffering increase. I see their insecurities increase, their confidence decrease, their energy levels go down. And so if we can get past the whole aspect of exercise being about what we look like and really connect with the aspect of exercise in what it really is about, which is connecting and feeling a connection to our mind, body, and spirit, a feeling of empowerment, a feeling of self-love, it's really going to serve us. It's not just about fitting into a certain size, a certain size of jeans, even though that may be a goal of yours. It's really the essence of exercise is like how we feel. When I exercise, and I do exercise just about every single day, and there's days that I'll have just calm days and just do some yoga or go on a walk, but there's days where when I'm going through hard stuff, especially when there's a lot of low vibration, it's really important for me to go and sweat that off, to get on my treadmill and run, or go outside nature and go for a run, to do some weight training, belly dancing, kickboxing, rollerblading. It doesn't matter. You need to just find what makes you excited. And each of us has different things that we enjoy. And if you can, enjoy that exercise time in nature, and then you just checked 2 things off your daily list. And so that exercise time is so important for us to release excess energy. It's so important for us to cultivate inner strength and empowerment. It's when I'm exercising on the treadmill and I'm running, or I'm on my bike and I'm spinning, I am in my mind, I'm in the zone, and I'm just connecting to spirit, and I'm just powerfully affirming the affirmations of how much I'm powerful, I'm capable, I'm awesome. And as you're doing this, you're exercising, you're connecting with your body, you're sweating out toxins. You're also able to get into your mind and really empower the mind with how powerful you are, how strong you are. This is really going to serve many of you. It's the recipe for self-esteem, self-confidence. And for those of us that neglect our bodies, I've seen amazing healers that are so amazingly insightful as far as consciousness, but then they're not applying it to their own life, and so they suffer and they hold themselves back because they're not feeling capable and confident. They're not feeling powerful. And it's not about a competition of, being what body size. There's so much woundedness in our society connected to body image in general, but it's really about your energy. When you're connecting and you're exercising, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel a connection with your source. You're going to feel more inspired, more capable to handle the rest of your day. And I highly encourage you to start your day this way. If you can at all claim that time, which really you all can, it's just will you, if you will choose to claim the time for self-care and self-love first and foremost in your day, as much as possible, you're going to see huge shifts in the rest of your day and the rest of your productivity, how you connect with others, your levels of success. Like if you want to measure success being like you had a successful, abundant day, it's going to all improve and increase because you started that day with self-love and self-care. And you are going to feel so happy and excited to share yourself and share your energy with others because you've started the day in alignment. You've started by loving self first. This is really important because if we're giving to everyone all day, say you're a social worker and you go to work, or you're a teacher, you're teaching. Teachers, nurses, these nurturing roles, mothers, they need to hear this message the most, because most of you go and you give all day to everyone else. And then at the end of the day, you're just tired. And eventually, as you do this consistently, you become resentful. And then you start to feel more and more lethargic and less powerful. So in order to change this, you need to start your day with self-love and self-care. You need to fill up your vessel before you can share that with others. If you are going on an empty tank and you're supposed to give to all these children or these patients, you're going to really set yourself up for failure. So I encourage you highly to listen to this from my personal training side of me, as far as, the actual science of it, and also from the spiritual healer side of me and the angelic messenger side of me that is bringing messages, that it is really going to serve us to honor the body, the mind, and the soul all the time. We can't neglect one and only focus on the other and expect to feel a sense of wholeness and alignment. So that's really important. Any questions or comments so far, Amnon? No? Okay. So,
no.
no, it's okay. Anything?
No.
Okay, just wanted to pause. So that's the self-love aspect of being mindful of this whole releasing of a sense of connection to depression. The next thing is connecting with family, and it's really important. Like, the family you live with, that should be pretty priority and important to you if you're in alignment. If you're in a family that's very disconnected and abusive and there's not a lot of authentic love and connection there, do your best to express that and bring light to that situation. And if that situation isn't shifting, it would serve you greatly to remove yourself from that situation and really allow yourself to rebirth a new family experience. For some of us, we have drawn to us the very family that we called forth in our sense of suffering and I'm not worthy. And at this time, you may be realizing your worth and you may be doing all this work on yourself. And if your family is not really supportive and not helping in that, it may be time to really pay attention to important decisions that you need to make on your future, on the fact that you really need a supportive environment for you to thrive and for you to grow. So really look to that family connection. It's really a message that I got channeled through, was that a lot of us are so disconnected from our electronic devices. The angels kind of brought through this vision of showing that we need to kind of be more mindful of allowing the children to be on them just for a little bit of time and really set more healthy boundaries on that, and to really look at how our families are functioning at this time. Some of you are sitting around tables, dining room tables, and you're all on cell phones and no one's really connecting. You're all checking out. You're all going to your own rooms in the house and you're on your electronic devices and you're not really connecting with each other. And this is really creating more anxiety and emptiness in you. So the very technology that you've created to bring connection has disconnected many of you. So what they're saying is that this technology is not the problem. It's our own ways that we're using the technology in a dysfunctional, addictive way. And so it would serve us greatly to tune in and use our electronics. Like, I'm using my computer today to reach all of you, and this is really an amazing gift and a tool that I have. However, if I'm on this computer all day and I'm ignoring and neglecting my family, I'm ignoring and neglecting my own body's need for exercise and nature connection, kind of lost my alignment. So it's important that we monitor the use of electronics in a form of using it to serve a purpose and then disconnect from them and connect with each other. If your children are young, they don't need a cell phone when they're 3 or 4 years old. I really don't feel they do. We need to really look at how much we're bombarding and maybe even overwhelming our children by giving them all these things. And we need to look into our intention. If I'm a mother and I have so many children that I'm overwhelmed and don't know what to do with them, what I've observed is I see a lot of these mothers just put their kids in front of TVs, give them, an Xbox, give them a phone to play games on, because then they don't have to be under my feet and they're not in my hair and I can just have some peace. But we really need to look at that. Is that really serving the children, and is it really serving us? Would it be better for us to show them a game to play or something that could connect them while we are out watering the garden or something like that? So just things to be mindful of, that we need to balance and monitor how much electronic use is happening, and is it really connecting us or disconnecting us. And so the electronics themselves are not bad, it's just the intention. And what the angel said to me is that so many humans are needing a constant distraction and a constant sense of entertainment. They want to be entertained and distracted. And what it really is this, it's this technique that we've come up with to numb the pain, because we feel this pain and emptiness and this anxiety. So we try to fill that emptiness with activity, with things to do. And it would really serve us to be mindful of that and to really be brave and courageous to feel whatever it is that we're trying to avoid feeling, so that we can connect more authentically. So that's another one, connecting with family. Turning off the electronics or monitoring them, and then connecting with our community or our tribe. This is something I've recently opened up a gathering space in my own sacred space in my home for a Sacred Soul Sisters Circle, and in September I will be opening up my space for the next 6 months to lead a healing workshop called The Empowering of the Empath. And this is open for men and women, and Skype's available, so you need to contact me if you're interested in that. But basically, listening to that need for community connection, a lot of us, if we're isolating ourselves, we feel like we're helpless. We feel overwhelmed from the tasks and the responsibilities. And it really is time for us to remember that sense of community and that sense of tribal connection with our community. And so doing things to connect with your community, and it doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be something really fancy. It could be you just setting up a neighborhood picnic and you connect with all your neighbors. It could be, like myself, starting this Sacred Soul Sisters Circle and connecting with women that are ready to really connect in empowering ways and that they want to make a difference. It could be helping out in your community and working with children, helping feed the homeless. There's so many things that we can do, and it's really a gift we give ourselves when we honor each other, and when we connect with our communities, we actually remember the bigger picture. We start to see beyond ourselves. We see beyond the smallness of just my own movie, and I can see that I can help and serve. And this is where we come back to that waking up with how may I serve on our hearts. We have to really get into the heart space. We have to link the mind and the heart. If we're just coming straight from logic and from the mind, we're only going to get so far, and we'll use a lot of will, like strong-willedness, to make things happen, but it won't really last and it won't feel as fulfilling for us. But if we can connect with our heart space on what is it that fills me with passion and purpose, and what is it that I really care about, then I can go out in my community and help make a difference in that way. So maybe some of you are really against animal cruelty, and rather than just sit and look at Facebook all day of all the terrible pictures of animals being mistreated, you could actually do something with your energy to be a participant in the healing or bringing a solution for that situation. So going and connecting in your community in a way to help with, protecting animals is an empowering thing to do, rather than sit at home and just research how many companies or how many people are hurting animals and just having your vibration be lowered, and then just feeling angry, and eventually, like, what's the point? And you start going into depression. So I hope that's kind of making sense of why I'm saying all this. So connecting with your community, really important. The next thing that they brought in was hydration and healing with salt, actually. And one of the women came to my Sacred Soul Circle, and I had assisted in helping heal her dog. And she was researching about the benefits of healing with salt. And I've told many clients to use saltwater baths or go and get into the ocean if you're able to get into the ocean, and just let the ocean water go around you and clear all the heavy energies, the toxins. Drinking a small amount of salt. If you go to, there's a website called thewatercure.com, and on that website, I had to kind of poke around in there to find what they suggested to use, but what I found was 1/4 of a teaspoon of sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, added to your water bottle every day is really beneficial, because we need some of these minerals and the salts in our bodies to actually hydrate, to actually absorb the water that we're drinking. And many of us are chronically dehydrated. And so it would be really beneficial if you're feeling interested in checking that out, to just be more mindful of your water consumption, making sure you're drinking pure, clear water. You could add a tumbled amethyst stone to your water or to your pet's water dish, as a way to raise the vibration and to assist in clearing toxins and any addictions. And so there's a lot of little simple things that we can do that will help with our hydration. And hydration is very important to our life. We're made up of 75% water. We're very much, water. And so if we're dehydrating ourselves, it will start to cause a lot of health problems. Our brain functioning isn't as in alignment. Our energy levels will start to go down. So a lot of this is really common sense stuff, but adding that awareness of hydration is really going to be powerful for you. And just, getting in the habit of taking a water bottle with you wherever you go, getting your children in that habit as well, to where they really honor the importance of drinking water. And when I say drinking water, I really mean water, because so many people want to drink coffee, or they want to drink soda, or they want to drink all these sugary, caffeinated drinks. And these are really counterproductive. These are actually causing your bodies to dehydrate. They're diuretics, and so they actually cause you to lose water. And excess sugar in the body is actually a really toxic thing, and it has its kind of slow way that it will destroy a body. But it would be really wise for us to be more conscious and aware of the chemicals we're putting in our body, and to be more mindful that we're, not doing that, and that we're bringing in pure, healthy water. And so that's another suggestion that can help a lot of you feel so much better, just in that simple shift. And then the next one was just adding more greens to our diet, eating a healthy diet and adding more greens, whether you want to drink a green smoothie, which I personally love making fresh green juice and green smoothies. Some people, I make it and I'm like, do you want to drink? And they're just like, oh, that's disgusting. And they are not interested at all. And that's okay. If you're not into that, don't do it that way. But do find a way to get greens into your body. And, whether it's eating a spinach salad, or you're just having a snack and eating some cucumber and eating some avocado, and just eating all different colors of the vegetables, orange, red, purple, green, yellow. Eating a lot of greens and vegetables are really going to be helpful for giving you energy. Your body, your cells of your body love that stuff. We've trained ourselves to really think we love sugar and caffeine and fat and greasy stuff and too much salt. And really that's stuff that we have done to ourselves. We've kind of made ourselves addicted to these things. But if we start to cut a lot of that out of the diet, it doesn't take too long before our palate is actually very satisfied with just natural greens, or satisfied with some, just raw almonds. So I encourage you to be more mindful of your diets, because the toxins that we bring into our body can greatly affect us feeling depressed, or feeling sadness, or feeling a low vibration. So if we really look at this whole show today, it's about keeping our energy and our alignment connected with Source. And so all these little things I've listed are suggestions to help you maintain and cultivate that greater alignment, so that you thrive, so that you have greater energy and vitality, and you feel strong, you feel capable, you feel healthy and happy, and you feel love for yourself. That's going to shift everything in your life. It all starts with self, and as we feel better inside ourselves, I feel good in my body, and I feel peaceful and calm and clear in my mind, I feel connected and empowered in my spirit, then I can be an amazing influence to others because of that alignment. If I don't take care of myself, it's going to be really hard for me to help anyone else. And sometimes we'll go through the motions of helping others, but the alignment and the energy, the intention is very off. So we really need to just let ourselves kind of point inward. So take that hand and just point it right here, tap your heart. And how may I serve myself? How may I love myself first, so that I can assist and serve and help others in the most beautiful way? So, any questions or anything, Amnon?
Yeah.
Mhm.
A guy is asking, does marijuana count as a green? It's a natural green.
Okay. So, who is asking that? That's funny.
I'm not telling.
Is it someone I know?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I've had a lot of I've heard so much controversy on this. I personally have never done marijuana, so I don't really know from experience, and I don't like to really give um, an opinion based when I don't really have the experience. But from what I've gathered, if I just tune into spirit and tune into source, is that it's sort of like our electronics. The electronics themselves are not bad. The need to be addicted to something is the problem. So if we're looking at marijuana, is the marijuana in its essence bad? Or is it our need to be addicted and numb and check out and not deal with our life because we're checking out and using this thing to keep us um, able to function? That's the problem. So I would say, from my inner knowingness, marijuana in its essence is not bad. Now, our society has a lot of torn emotions about this, and I really personally feel smoking things isn't the highest choice because inhaling smoke and things just aren't really great for our bodies. But it all comes down to intention. It really does. So if we're using something in a ceremonial way, in a way to honor the body, that is coming from a place of love, and that can be very beneficial. But if we are, whether it's drinking soda every day, or whether it's overeating Oreos when we're sad, or whether it's smoking a bong because we want to check out and not deal with our problems, or if it's smoking a pack of cigarettes because we're stressed and we don't know how to express our emotions. These are the issues that are really the problem. It's not the thing themselves, it's what we're doing with these things. And then we become addicted to them and we become very attached to them like they're a vice, and we feel that we cannot function without them. That's where you get yourself in trouble. So, would having some, medicinal uses of marijuana be a healthy, beneficial thing for many? From what I'm gathering and from what I'm observing, yes, like there is healthy, beneficial aspects to these things. But how you're using it is really the most important aspect. Like, what is your intention? Are you doing this from a place of love for self, or are you partying with your friends and you're checking out and you're not being responsible? Um, you're doing just like children over drinking at a party, and then you go and drive a car and you hit somebody. Like, the alcohol is not bad. It's what you're doing with it that's out of alignment. Having a glass of wine occasionally can actually have beneficial things for the body, or even a glass of beer. There's medicinal aspects to having a beer that can be helpful for the cleansing of the kidneys and things like that. But if you're using these things as a way to love and honor and you're listening to your body, this can be beneficial. And if you're not, and you're using it as an addictive measure to check out, to numb, or to cause harm to self or others, that's where it's out of alignment. So I hope that answered that question. Did
Well,
they seem satisfied?
I was asking Kathy and Jackie what
Hmm.
they think, and Jackie said it sounds good as far as
Okay.
if it's a green, and then Kathy
Yes.
said, I don't think you check out. I think it enhances everything.
Okay. Yeah, and for some people from their experience, they say that it helps them to tune in higher states of consciousness. And like I said, I've not used a tool, but what I've gotten from angels when I've asked about this is that what they say is that it's something that we have to be so mindful of, because when we start to feel we need something external to connect with source, we can get ourselves in trouble. The very thing that we use to connect us will eventually disconnect us because we will feel attachment to it. So it's kind of like, if I'm too addicted to crystals and I think, oh my God, I cannot connect to the angels without that certain crystal and I can't find it, that's really out of alignment. Now I've gotten myself attached to a crystal in a way that causes me to feel I can't connect. I can connect with angels now, like all of you can. You can talk to them right now. You can ask for guidance right now. You do not need anything external to connect. So for some of us, if we feel in order to connect with Source, we need to take ayahuasca or we need to smoke marijuana, that may be really what's happening. What they're saying to me right now is what's really happening is that for some of us, it's helping us to quiet the mind chatter so that we can even let the door open. But as we really cultivate a practice of quieting the mind chatter through meditation, which is a consistent practice, it takes some practice, you will empower yourself that you yourself, energetically and vibrationally, can open the door to spirit, and you need nothing to get there. But some of you have used these tools to assist you in opening the door. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. That's how they're saying it to me right now. And so it's not a bad thing. However, eventually it would serve you and it would empower you to realize you can connect without anything, and that is your overall goal. And if you don't really balance it with meditation without using anything, it will eventually end up being something that will feel like a crutch, and that could start to create a disconnect. So it's really important to balance it. Maybe when you're using marijuana, use it very sacredly, like as a ritual with that connection and setting that intention. And then also balance time where you're connecting very sacredly to connect without it. And just making sure you're balancing to see, oh, I actually am learning. I'm in charge of this, that I actually have the power, that I actually can connect, and that I don't really need anything external to do so. So any other questions connected to that? Bring them on.
Okay, nothing yet.
Okay. So I have a page in Getting into the Vortex. I opened up randomly and just said, Source, what do they need today? And this is what I opened to, and I just felt like it really went along well with this whole discussion of empowerment and being true to self. So here it is. It's on page 40 and 41, and it says, there is power in the words that you are hearing, and in time your resistance will subside, and your allowing will begin. As your resistance is replaced with allowing, and as doubt is replaced with belief, your abundance will become evident. Even though we stand in complete awareness of the financial abundance that is queued up and awaiting you, your knowledge of your abundance cannot be instantly transferred to you, even when we offer you powerful words that reflect our knowing. So the vibrational shift that will take place within you as you listen to this, basically it's talking about listening to a CD, the meditation CD. So as you listen to the recordings, will not be because of the power of our words or the truth of our message, but instead it will be because of your vibrational shift. From your human perspective, you often believe that you must work hard to overcome obstacles and satisfy shortages and to solve problems that are before you. But often in that attitude or approach, you work against yourself without realizing it. Attention to obstacles makes them bigger and more stubborn. So let me repeat that, because I want to really address this with this issue with our cultural need to label and identify ourselves connected to things. Like, I've got ADD, I've got ADHD, I've got depression, I've got, all these things that we want to look at the problem. What's the problems? What are your symptoms? So when we get into the laws of attraction, attention to obstacles makes them bigger and more stubborn. Attention to shortages makes them bigger and prolongs them. And attention to a problem prevents any immediate resolution or solution. So if we really pay attention to that, no matter what our issue in our movie is today, if we're focusing on the problem, if we're focusing on what's wrong, we are in fact inviting more of that energy in. So it's really prolonging the solution. It's keeping us away, separate from solution. So as you listen to our recording, giving your attention to your breathing, and so let's take the listen to the recording out. Basically what Source is saying is, as you tune inward and as you listen and connect with your higher source, giving your attention to your breathing and to the natural rhythm of your body, any problematic vibrational activation will simply cease to be. And in the absence of that resistance, your vibration will naturally begin to rise until it will align with the higher vibration of the very solutions that you have been longing for. So, to be real simple and clear, as each of you right now close your eyes and just connect to your breath, just listen to my words, listen to the spaces between the words, and just breathe. And each time you exhale, feel yourself releasing resistance. Just feel like a letting go. And with each inhale, each in-breath, we're drawing in greater connection, raising our vibration. With each exhalation, releasing resistance. So as we do this, if we continue in this space of just simply breathing, connecting, and releasing of resistance, this is the most amazing, powerful space that you will spend your time in every day, right here. And we can learn not only to do this in a conscious, creative meditation experience when we're actually consciously meditating, but in essence, the very goal of this practice is that we will learn to move in a moving meditation, so that no matter where I am, no matter what's happening to me externally, I remain a peaceful observer internally. No matter what's happening around me, I remain connected to Source and my abundance, my goodness, my wholeness is my focal point. So as I can see that shift in myself, I can heal anything. Anything in my internal and external world will heal and find alignment. And so this is the path. It seems so simple because it is. And it is the truth. It is the true path to all of our healing, all of our solution. If we're wanting to understand the answer to a question, Source, bring me greater clarity, bring me greater guidance and understanding, and we connect with breath, we quiet the mind chatter and we tune into the breath, we release the resistance and we open the door to spirit, the messages, the understanding, the solutions will be given. They will flow in easily and naturally. If we have something going on in the physical body, a sickness or an ailment, and we release resistance daily and we connect to our bodies in a state of love and honor, and we observe the aliveness in the body, we observe the miraculous gift of the breath, and we just focus on the wholeness, the body swiftly will return to a state of wholeness, because that is the intelligence the body is always seeking. The very fact that there is disease in the body is a sign of not being at ease. It is a blocking of ease. It is the disruptive energies of stress and worry and chronic irritation that is causing resistance. And the very releasing of that resistance, which is as simple as this breath, is the solution and the path to finding and realigning with our wholeness. Does that make sense to everybody?
Makes sense here.
Okay.
Makes sense to you? Kathy said it makes sense to her too.
All right, then that means it's true. Okay, so in the absence of longing, in the absence of doubt, and in the absence of obstacles and shortages and problems, will be the solutions and the abundance that you seek. And the evidence of your vibrational shift will become obvious in two ways. First, you will feel better. Next, physical evidence of financial improvement will begin flowing to you from a variety of different directions. So in this case, the focal point is really on finances, financial situation is the page I opened to. So at some level, it means you guys have been thinking about financial situations. But it applies to everything. It applies to your finances, to your relationships, to the love and relationship you feel for self, to your body image, to your health. It's connected to all of it. So this very presence of breathing is the power. And I'm going to give you a very tangible, real situation that happened today for me. So I've been going through all kinds of things. I've had all kinds of obstacles thrown my way and just been like, what the crap, darkness? Like, what else you got? Actually, never asked that, but I've been more like, Source, thank you for bringing solution. And, seriously, I know you think I'm a rock star and I'm a badass, but I'm good. You can just kind of give me a break for a few days. But all these things have been coming in, and I could have every excuse in the world to say, I can't handle it. I'm depressed. I'm sad. It's not fair. I'm not getting my share. How come all this stuff's happening to me? I could do that. I could. And I see people do it every day. And it would not serve me. This is the thing. I've observed how playing the victim role and complaining and being in misery never really serve us. And in fact, I look at all these things that have happened in my life over the last couple of weeks with a lot of family stuff, and I feel deep, heart-filled gratitude for every bit of it, because it has taught me so much more of what's going on with different humans connected with depression. I feel like my awareness level has gone up so much on that. My psychic gifts have developed in amazing ways over the past few weeks of just really paying attention and not being connected to this physical world and what it tells me I should believe or do, but really constantly staying connected to Source on thank you for the solution. And so today I'm going to give you a very simple, tangible thing that happened. I woke up this morning. I was kind of processing my dreams, just like the angels told you all, encouraged you all to do. I do this. I live my life this way. And I was processing them and just kind of like, okay, what did that dream mean? And writing it down. And I was just laying there and I was like, you know what, angels? We had a great camping time. I feel like we're healing a lot of things. And I've given my attention where it was needed. And I feel open and I feel grateful and I feel excited. And I am ready for you to bring me some new healing clients, because I love manifesting my financial abundance by making use of my spiritual gifts. And if you have some people that I can help right now, please send them my way. And I was just talking to the angels, very like I'm talking to you, like my best friends, and just thanking them for bringing me clients that are open, they're ready, they're honoring, and they are generous and grateful, because I really have learned to be specific. And I am not kidding you. As soon as I was having that conversation with Spirit, my phone rang and I looked over like, should I answer it? Because I'm kind of meditating, and I got this instinct like, answer it. So I answered the phone, and it was a woman calling me, and she wanted to set up an auric clearing with me tomorrow. And she was telling me how much my friend who had referred her to me thought of me, how highly she thought of me, and that she was so excited to work with me. This woman didn't know me at all, but she was so excited to work with me and just felt so open and so ready and was just so grateful that she had found me. And I just started laughing like, wow, that was like spot on with everything I just thanked the universe for bringing in. I just very specifically thanked the angels for exactly that kind of client. And then about an hour or two later, after I'd worked out, practicing what I speak, I was on a hike, and then I was doing weight training. I came in and I got another call from a client that I had helped who had really struggled with drug addiction, and he had called me to see if he could buy a session for his soon-to-be ex-wife, because they're going through a lot of things from his choices, and he wanted to set up a healing session for her. And I called her, and it was her birthday, and she was so grateful and so excited and just blown away that he would have done that for her. And so the reason I say that is because you really, each of you are so powerful with your connections to the universe. And when you remember to stay centered in gratitude, no matter what's happening, you really benefit your own life. And like I said, last few weeks of my life have been very chaotic, very stressful. To many people, they would call that stressful and just chaos. But it really was just what it is. It was just, this is what was happening in the movie. And these were humans that I love and care about. And I was called to help them. And then after the storm passed, the clouds moved by, I was just grateful for the lessons and the experience. And then very present and very clear to the universe on what I was ready to experience next, if that was okay, if it was in a divine time for that alignment. And so if you can see that all I did was made a request, and I spoke to Spirit very clearly, and seriously, like instantaneously, I instantly manifested the experiences, and then I acknowledged them, and now I'm sharing them with you publicly, giving honor to that and realizing that I claim every bit of my own creation and my own experience and my own responsibilities. And as each of you have the courage to do the same, your lives are going to shift in amazing ways. I guarantee it. And it's all going to come from that simplicity of connecting with your breath every day, having that time in meditation where you are releasing the resistance, you're releasing the need to make excuses or to make things hard or difficult. You release that belief system that says you have to suffer or you have to work harder before you're worthy. I am here to tell you, you are all worthy right now. You are. What's happening on this planet is we're having a human awakening, and humanity is awakening to the fact that we have been deceived and we have bought into the illusion for thousands of years that we were not enough. And it has caused a lot of suffering, and it has caused a lot of frustration and a lot of tragedy. And it was all for a purpose. It was all to teach us important lessons. And so if we can each just grasp this moment right now and really learn from it and really claim back, call back all your power. Those of you watching, throw your hands up in the air and just, I call back all my power, and just pull it in. Imagine that you're pulling in every bit of your power that you've ever given away, and just reconnect with your heart and your mind. Feel that spiritual alignment with Source, and really start to have a spiritual dialogue with your angels and with Source again. Really start to listen to the intuitive nudgings. Like, I went on this yoga training yesterday, and I just got an intuition to bring a healing meditation CD that I had made that I have for sale if any of you would like to buy one. And I just felt led to bring one, and I felt led to bring a few flyers on healing and some business cards. And as I just spoke honestly in the group of different things they were talking about connected to yoga, but as a healer, so much that they were saying I understood, and I, not just from a theory place, but I live and experience experientially, understanding how to work with the chakras and the energy meridians and what all that means. And I ended up having a couple girls come talk to me and ask for my card and ask for my information. And one girl had a brother who's really struggling with depression. And as we were talking, I gave her my card, and she's going to have him call me to come have a session. But when she walked away, I felt the angel say, she's the one. And I just grabbed my CD and I gave it to her and said, this is for you and your brother. And she was so grateful, and just, it was like I blew her mind with that generosity. And all I did is listen. And so I encourage each of you to really listen. You are so psychic. All of you are so psychically powerful. And as you start to honor it and even affirm, I am a powerful psychic. I am a powerful clairvoyant. I am a powerful intuitive healer. Affirm it. I am. And you will be amazed of what will start to shift in your world and how much you really do know, how much you really do understand. And you will be an amazing catalyst of light and of love for so many as you honor that in each of yourselves. So I'd like to leave you on that note, and I encourage you this week to practice all the things that the angels have brought in for self-love and self-care. Just for a week. Let's just shoot for that for this week. Try not to make it too scary, and just practice all week with your journaling, your listening, your connecting with family, your shutting off of electronics when you're not really needing them. You're being mindful of, whoa, I think I'm kind of addicted to this game. Why do I always play this rather than deal with what I need to say? Or, oh, wow, I think I do have an addiction to this marijuana. Like, whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, rather than expressing myself, I want to go and smoke some marijuana. Just be mindful, like be mindful and present, and connect with nature, connect with each other, and above all else, remember to connect with your source, your true source that is available to you, through you, 24/7, and holds your solutions, holds your love, holds your abundance, and call it forth. You have the power to call it all forth. So I thank you so much for tuning in today, and feel free to write in with questions. Any of you who would like to schedule a healing session, my special that I'm going to offer for August and September is $50 off clearing or a soul coaching session or package. So if you're feeling like, you know what, I've been feeling like I should work with Tawnya, I've been feeling like I'm led to her, but I've been kind of procrastinating, just do it. Just seize the moment, contact me, and just know that amazing, miraculous solutions await you if you dare to do your work, if you dare to show up and be present. And I would love and be so honored to assist all of you who are ready and courageous. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a beautiful and blessed day. And thank you so much, Amnon and Kathy, for being understanding for the last couple weeks when I had to kind of flow in a new direction. And I appreciate all of you for being understanding and for your support. Thank you so much. Namaste.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tawnya Love Show, Reawaken Your Brilliance with Julie Seibert, and if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals. ThatVidBlasterGuy.com, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.